Yo, what's up, dudes? Casey? Bradley? You going fishing this morning? Morgan? I had a catastrophic failure yesterday. And here's my problem. Fast guy, what's up? So, my claim to fame is painting, not building. I've been painting a lot longer than I've been building. So I should have the painting part down. Oh no. Kyle, double Kyle, what's up? So yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was Saturday. I was painting these jewels, and everything was nice. No, we're not sanding cleared baits. We're sanding pre-cleared color baits. So I was, I had it on my mind. It was Saturday. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get all these baits knocked out. I'm gonna do like extra fancy paint jobs. So I was gonna wrap them in scales and then paint like multiple colors through them, so they really like looked fancy. Well, sun was shining, beautiful day when I got here. Started painting. It was dry, felt good. Paint laid down great on the first 10. So I got to the next 10 that I was doing a different color on, and in that time, a thunderstorm popped up and rained for probably 10 minutes, 15. Well, that 10 and 15-minute rain shower made it so effing humid that like my paint turned to damn goo. Like I couldn't add enough retarder to it. Like it was just gummy. There was so much moisture in the air and it was so hot. And and I think the other problem was you had like the inside was still pretty cool from the night before, and then you had like hot outside humid air mixing with that, so it made it like double humid. And when I pulled my scales back from the bait, like the paint hadn't dried, so it was real like gummy, and it left like cuts in all the scales. Not in all of them, but like in the deeper. It left deep cuts like on the top. And I was looking at it and I was like, dude, I can't sell that shit. It looks like ass. So um, here I am, sanding them all down. So luckily, the other 10 looked good, um, and I only have 10 to sand, but I was pretty pissed because it was like this is like half a day's work. Uh, I, Pete Glusick, why is that? AJ, I don't know what it is, dude. These baits are really uh I don't understand because like I've painted thousands and thousands and thousands of swim baits. Until I touch mine, they're all fine. But it seems like if I touch mine, something's gonna fuck up, and I don't get it. Maybe it's like pressure. Head over heels. Was that a pun? I did see poor Pete fall in. That wasn't cool. I wonder if Pete wouldn't have fallen in if he would have won. I was really pulling for Pete. I wanted Pete to win. Whether Pete knows it or not, I don't think Pete gives himself enough credit. But Pete's a legend, dude. Pete's the shit. AJ, I guess. I think it like worries me to a fault to where I don't know. I just like do dumb stuff. Or I don't know that I do dumb stuff, but just like shit happens. Like of all the bullshads I've painted, like they'd never do this. And I've painted thousands of bullshads. 50 at a time. 100 at a time. Don't have that problem. Native gill, oh yeah, they're gonna get trashed. Don't get it. Don't get it. So, which I won't have to sand them all the way down. I just have to get some of this color off. But he is very humble dude. I think he's humble to a fault though. I think he's humble to a fault. But dude, like I should have learned, AJ. I should know by now that like when it happened to the first one, I should have said, "All right, put this shit down. Go fishing. Go do something. Go hang out with your kids. Like, go see the wife. Go do something. Like, don't force it." And I tried to force it, and it bit me. But hopefully this doesn't open up some other can of worms. We'll see. We'll see. So this is baits that were supposed to be done today, but instead I'm going backwards. Going backwards. Exactly what I don't need to be doing. But it's the name of the game. And this color that's on them is not really what I wanted to paint them. I only painted in this color to try and salvage the damage I had done. But it was not salvageable. So I'm kind of excited to start over. I just gotta watch the weather a little closer and make sure we're not getting any pop-up thunderstorms today. Like, what happened to the days of just like hot sun? I guess that's Austin weather. Like that's what was so like you'd spray dry in Austin. You know what I mean? Like your paint would come out of the gun like dust because it was so hot and dry. But and people in Austin will claim that it's humid there, and they're fools. And I've heard other people in other parts of the world say, "Man, it gets humid here too." Like, no, it doesn't, dude. No, it doesn't. Anybody from the South can relate to that. So once I get these stupid scales sanded off, I'll get to do it all over again. Get to do it all over again, and then I get to pick another color. which I don't know what that's going to be. Travis Stearman, just just sanding off my paint jobs, man. You know, same old shit. And I learned before that I can't just take lacquer thinner to these and wipe the paint jobs off, because that, yeah, humidity got me. I can't just lacquer thinner the base because that'll eat into the it'll eat into the resin, leave pits and shit, and I don't want to do that. Then I'm doing body work. Normally humid, but dry and hot for the most part here. That's nice. I wish we were. I love painting when it is dry and hot. Because, I mean, paint hits the bait and it sticks, and it's hot and it's dry and it's done. Like, there ain't no damn dicking around. Like, this is the kind of weather that makes me want to go back to a water-based paint so I can just hit it with a hairdryer and be done with it. But I'm just kidding. This stuff sucks. I'm just kidding. 78 this morning. Humidity felt like 84. Yeah, that's what it felt like Saturday. It felt nice and dry and sunny. And then a few minutes later, it felt like your Grundle after about a 30-mile run on the beach in Jamaica. During a rainstorm. All my beautiful colors. Yeah, it's actually been getting up into the 70s in Montana. Damn. Or we got Nebraska felt like what was it in the 40s this morning? 44. Wow. That's why people like I've never printed many hoodies, like hooded sweatshirts, because I feel like in the South we have about a 4-week window where you can wear a hoodie. But I realize now in other parts of the country, y'all can wear hooded stuff like in September, in May, in June. High 60s this morning at Rayburn. Did that dick the bite up? I feel like anytime you get like a cool snap in the fall, some people say it'll start a bite, but I've never had good luck with the first, like when it first starts getting cool in the fall. I've never had great luck with that. It feels awesome and you're excited because you're like, oh, these fish are about to blast a topwater or like a crankbait or something, and then it sucks. But I was meaning to ask you the other day, what are those little red plugs on the bottom left of the organizer? Let's see here. Let me get this shoulder done, and we'll have a look. Do a little show and tell. Oh, dude, I can't tell you how bad this sucks. So I finally got my hands on the Haymaker. The 5/0 is longer, but the gap is similar to a 3/0 jungle wide gap. Might be too small for my bigger tubes. I've been I keep seeing them for sale, and I keep not ordering them, but I don't need them. You know what I mean? Like I can, as little as I fish now, it's fine. Are you talking about right there, Morgan? It might be an Ira. Oh, what a monumental waste of time. What a monumental waste of time. Well, since I get to redo them, the very bottom row. Mario, my scales, when I painted scales on these things, I tried to get real fancy and do like 4 colors. And my paint wasn't drying because it was so humid. And when I pulled the scales off, it like pulled the paint up and like left these cuts in the paint that was really deep and looked like ass. So I looked at them and I said, you can't, you're the fucking painter. You can't sell this trash. How does your bait look so awesome and your paint look like shit? So I'm sanding it off. I had a thunderstorm roll up and jack my humidity up to about 1,000,000, and it caused my paint not to dry. If I would have sent these out, I would be no better than Tightlines UV sending wrinkled baits to Tackle Warehouse. So I'm trying to do the right thing and eat 2 wasted days of time and get it right. Is it what I want to do? Absolutely not. Is it the right thing to do? Yes. So here we are. Could I have clear coated them and then sanded the clear smooth? Probably. Would nobody have noticed? Probably not. I would have though. So here we are. Like I mean, when shit's right and when shit's wrong, and that these weren't right. So I'll swallow my pride and say, painter, you dicked up. Now you got to pay for it. Now you got to pay the price. The painter's got to pay the piper. All right, Morgan, let me see. Oh, sorry, Hella. You didn't send me your schedule. All right. All right. Let's see. some of this other shit off. Travis, I don't think I would because my fan's pulling so much air. Out of the world, you know what I mean, out of the atmosphere. That as soon as I turn the fan on, it's going to take any bit of a like air conditioned anything, and blow it out. The only thing I might could have gotten away with that I thought about and I looked for, but I couldn't find one was I was gonna actually run a heater and try and like just like get it super hot in the room, which I've done before. It's not fun during the summertime where you just get in there and it's already like 90 degrees and then you turn on a heater and make it like 100 and something. But it'll dry things out. It will dry things out. But I couldn't find a damn heater, so. All right. Yummy. All right, let's see what Morgan was looking for. On the bottom, red. That. The Method Crank. Oh, I missed some YouTube. Selling China KOs from the same price as Megabass. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All right, one down. This is what we started with. It's really pretty. Be a shame to have to sand it off. Later. Sitting in the sauna. Travis, try a 3-aught jungle wide gap in the baby. Travis Dustin, in all reality, there's nothing baby about the Snack Daddy Baby Elite 2. It's still pretty mediated. It's a 4 on K hook for this. You know what's weird, Dustin, is like who's promoting? The only person I've really heard promote the Haymaker is Castledine, and he's pretty vague in his. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have a deal with Owner, or he does have a deal. I don't know, but any of their other pros, maybe I don't follow them, maybe whatever. But I feel like I probably follow enough pros that have deals with Owner that I would have heard somebody talk about it. But what I don't get is like nobody, like if I'm selling the haymaker, like if owner calls me and says, Stanley, we need you to pump some of these. Okay. All I'm gonna preach is hey dude, we've been using shitty tube hooks since 1988. There's never been a good hook for a tube. This is it. That's all you need to know. Because let's be honest, you put an EWG Superline in a 5-aught in an old monster, you catch them. You don't miss that many fish. You might miss one here or there. You put it in a sweet beef, works fine. You put it in just about anything and it works fine, except a tube. A tube is like the one bait, like in itself, that like needs a very specific hook to do its job. And nobody, nobody besides the HP hook. Um, Travis, I just think that's from low availability because I think owner's been dealing with that for a while now. But how do you like? What do people even know about the damn haymaker? You know what I mean? For it to sell out so fast. Like, is Castledine is Castledine the reason that all those sell out that fast? I really don't think so. Like, where are people getting their information that the haymaker is the end all be all hook to where it sells out instantly? Tim Maynard, what's up? Tim, I'm sanding off my paint jobs from yesterday. Unfortunately. Um, but I don't know. Who else have y'all heard? Tim, it's nine of them that were a no go. Had a little stormy weather pop in, blow my humidity through the roof, and dick up my scales. So here we are. It's all Todd, I think. I'm just experimenting. Um, but like Travis, you have sought out a better hook because you throw a tube a lot. And I don't think or I know that the majority of the world isn't going to do that. They just need a pro to tell them this is the hook you need. Uh, and you don't have to do anything to it. You just need to tie it on, go fishing. Flipping or swimming a tube is something I want to like. I like the fish I boat on it, but I never like my hookups with it because I've never found a hook you like. Yeah, that is the tragic flaw of a tube. Um, that is the tragic flaw of a tube. Mr. Stearman has a good hook he makes. Yeah, the HP hook was badass. That Eagle Claw made. The clip was awesome. Um, I don't know why they haven't done that. Like they could make it in a trocar, and that still probably wouldn't. Because I don't like trocar hooks, but I'm surprised they haven't done that. Honestly, I guess, and also tubes aren't cool. Um, you know what I mean? Like that's like the bait that people don't. A, nobody's pushing them, and B, like the guys that fish them don't want to talk about them because it's like old and crusty and like it's out of fashion. But like there's still a ton of people that fish too. Um, my problem with Trocars was they always rolled the points. Cody Meyer has pushed the haymaker. See, I follow Cody, but I don't ever see his posts. I don't know. I think part of my problem is rattle size. You stuff a rattle up in yours? I've never been a rattle. The amount of bass that Scott Martin loses on live is not a ringing endorsement for Trocar. I could believe that. You're not the first person I've heard say that. I don't. I don't. I don't know. I've never. I just never liked Trocars. Like I said, you run over a stump or a log or something, and like stick the hook, and that hook is bent. Uh, Trocar rips plastic so much on those soft tubes they use. They work, but mess up a bunch of tubes. See that? I wonder if Travis does Eagle Claw have that clip patented? Can I just get the clips made? Could I? Dude, I look disgusting. Trojans, Trocars are too sharp for a tube they cut. Yeah. And it may sound crazy, and I could get blasted for this by maybe a professional angler. But when I'm square billing, I really don't like super sharp hooks because they're a little snaggy. Like they'll tick any little piece of something and grab them. I prefer my hooks to be a little dull, uh, and not dull, but not like needle sharp. I mean, it's probably not popular opinion, but don't give a shit. Uh, I can't fish properly when I'm snagging every toothpick that's sticking in the damn water. So yeah, I like a hook after it's caught a few fish. Um, I run mainly Hayabusa on all my heavy stuff. True cards are good for long distance. Hook says casting jig, finer sharps. I looked at the Hayabusas, the trebles. I tried to get them in bulk because I was going to put them on my baits, and I talked to the rep over there in Texas, and he said He's like, if you need hooks, give me about 6 months update. And he's like, that way I can. He's like, I can get you 1,000 count. And he said, but I need about 6 months to get them from Japan. So, hard mouth smallies. You think a smallie's got a harder mouth than a spotted bass? And I'm talking about like throwing in trees, like especially cypress trees, mainly cypress trees. Because if you're digging your bait out of cypress knees all day, that shit is annoying, dude. That's the kind of shit that makes crankers into wormers. They go out there and throw a crankbait around a cypress tree for about 30 minutes and get hung 77 times, and they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna pitch my brush hog in there. Screw this. Me, I just dip into my box and pull all my old silver Bagley hooks out and put those on my new crankbaits. That's the thing about it. Like people talk about like hooks being sharp. Uh, like I've got hooks from like 1977, like the silver shitty Bagley hooks that everybody like immediately takes off. If you don't think those will hook a fish, stick them in your hand. Any hook for that matter. Like here's the deal. If you think you have a dull hook that you cannot hook a bass with, Travis, you say smallmouth have hard mouths. Uh, put the bait in your hand and let me do this, and that shit's going somewhere. I don't know how a fish gets it out of his mouth, but I know for damn sure I don't want it in my mouth and you snatching. Like I've seen like, you've seen people on your boat and they get in there and like they pull out some like bandit from like 1997 and it's still got those like old treble like triple grips on. They'll throw out there and catch a 5 pounder and that son of a bitch will be hooked 16 ways. Old rusty crusty looking hook. Some days you just put a brand new shiny Gamakatsu on. First 7 fish, just jump and throw it. So, what am I really doing here? What's really going on here? Like I've seen my dad do that so many times. Like just throw a bait with some shitty old hooks on it, and the fish just have it like every hook in them. Wouldn't throw a hook in 10 years. Hella, you would take that? You would let me get 30 feet out and set the hook with a crankbait in your hand? I wouldn't want to do that, dude. That's ballsy. Sounds like a good clickbaity video. I wouldn't want anybody snatching on my hand with a bait in it. I'll pass on that. I guess we would need to know what the downward pressure of a fish's mouth is. Like if he completely engulfed a bait, how much pressure does a fish's mouth hold closed? The old bronze Excalibur TX T3X hooks, yeah. Yeah, those were good hooks. Those were good hooks. I don't know. I'm on the fence with hooks. Like I said, I've seen a million fish caught on shitty hooks, and I've seen a million fish lost on sharp hooks. So Casey's a hooker from way back. Hello, when will this video when will this video be out? What's up?
Back to that.
All right. Offer doesn't stand with braid. That's fine. I wouldn't want to rip your hand off. These pieces of shit. Where was that? Where was that? I crank on braid with you crank braid with a glass rod. Oh, Rich, I'm sanding. Except I'm not sanding blank baits. I'm sanding already painted ones. Tim, you've been listening to damn Fritzy too much. You've been listening to Fritzy too much. Hella, exactly. Except it's not going to cost the consumer twice. It's going to cost me twice. So I'm not going to, I'll be the one losing here. I'm the only one losing here. And I really needed to have these out in a timely. Slinky, what's up, dude? I needed to have these out in a timely fashion, like over the weekend. But I might be up here tonight. Rich, we had a humidity issue yesterday. I had a thunderstorm pop up, and when I went to pull the scale mesh off my bait, it left these really deep cuts in the paint, and it looked like ass from my paint not drying from the humidity. So rather than say fudge it, I'm going to send it. We're sanding them down and redoing them. But I do have one color in there that's already done that looks nice. I don't know how you crank on braid, bro. Rich, it does suck. Huge dongs is what it sucks. Casey, Tim Maynard, Bait Geek, is cranking with braid and a glass rod because David Fritz told him to. And Maynard is he's a member of the Church of Fritz. Maybe cultish. Why paint something once when you can paint it twice, right? What's the benefit, Tim? Casey wants to know why you're cranking braid and how it benefits you. And I'm all about doing some off the wall, non-compliant stuff. So hats off to Tim and Fritz for cranking braid, because I'm all about some. I've jerked a trap on braid, not just regular cranks. Dude, I can't even pitch like something with braid. Rich cranks with 7'4" rod, medium heavy, mono. That's about what I do. I'm a 7.2, medium heavy. Cranks, jerks, drop shots, everything on braid. Is there anybody on the is there anybody is there anybody on the Elite Series that's like the oddball when it comes to like shit like this besides Fritz? I know Clun back in the day, he went to all like 7-foot medium heavy rods for everything, right? Like didn't he go through that phase where he just had like all the same rod and reel setups, and he just had different line weights? Tim said the benefits is he can feel everything. I know exactly what my bait is making contact with. I can damn near measure the density. There you go. So you're more interested in bottom contact? Like, are you talking about reading the feel of the bottom, like what the density of the bottom is? Because I feel like if I cranked a tree with braid, that would not be a fun time. Yeah, I could see Kennedy switching to braid. Oh, dude. Man. I can feel the fish when it rushes up behind the bait and pauses on it. I can feel that with mono. It's like a vortex. Like your bait just gets flushed down the toilet, but nothing happens, and it feels like somebody cut your line. You're like cranking, and all of a sudden you feel like this weird like motion. You gotta be paying attention there. I will say I was cranking in a tournament last year. We were going down this bank, and I felt that, like, you could tell there was like a presence behind your bait, and it like pushed it, and it felt like your line kind of got cut for a split second, and you like lost contact with your bait, and then it like kept tracking. And I thought in my brain, I was like, that felt like a big one. Well, we left that bank and came back later that day. I caught a 5.5 on that same bank. I was like, I thought it felt like a big one. And this fish did the exact same thing, except it actually bit. Man, if I'd have got that first one, maybe it was the same fish, maybe it wasn't, but started getting greedy. I've been like, oh, that would have been 2 5s. Tim, how does it feel, or how's your how's your landing? How's your landing percentages? When you hook a 4-pounder, do you have to walk them around the boat for 17 minutes before you can get them in the boat, or you just reel them and flip them? Or are you of the Fritz school of dance, where you hop them around the boat for 45 minutes until they're dead? That doesn't work for me. I don't know how Fritz does it. My mentality has always been the longer they're in the water, the more chance they have to get off. Fritz will literally walk them around the boat until they're dead, and then revive them in the live well with a little sprinkle of some juice. In other news, I might paint mubbas today. What do you do when you're flipping and they only eat it when you start burning your bait in? Only bite is when it's moving, but they won't eat a moving bait if you switch up. What do you do? Just keep swimming, man. That's one of my favorite things to do in the fall. Because I think you, like, especially on riverbanks, like, I don't care what it is I'm swimming. But I started noticing it in the fall, that on riverbanks you'll get a lot of fish that just suspend off the lip of the bank, and they'll be looking up at the lip, so they're not really like bottom feeding, and you just like you pitch or you work your bait out as far as you think like is the strike zone, then you reel it in, and I think those fish hanging off suspended on that lip will follow your bait in. And I think you hear people talk about that, but you don't. You don't. People don't go much deeper. And I won't go much deeper either. I'll just leave it at that. Hell, I can't recall the last time I saw Fritz catch a fish on a crankbait. Hella? Ask Tim Maynard. Tim, it's not many. He doesn't lose many, but I don't know how he damn does it. I don't know how he does it. Because if I do it, anytime I've ever like when I was like a kid trying to do that shit, like this fucker's always jumped off. Has to come up from the bottom. Morgan, I would be probably absolutely elated if I found that bite, because if I did, I would know I'm probably the only person on the river that knew that was doing that. Those are like the bites that you like pray to find, because you know nobody else is doing it. I've had that happen a couple times with a worm. And a tube. I think my favorite Fritz tournament was that one he won on Eufaula, where he was throwing the lizard, where he's fishing those flats with all the trash on them. And I think it looked double badass because when Fritz set the hook, like his rod would like bend triple, and he looked like he had the most powerful hook set ever. But it's because his rod was like a damn noodle. And I think, like, I feel like his like Worman rod was not very powerful. Um, but he'd set the hook on that damn lizard, and it would bend down to the damn rod handle. He caught some damn big ones in that tournament. But I can honestly say Fritz is probably the reason I land fish the way I do, because I tried his method and they always jumped off. I was like, screw this. Swimming a D bomb has worked more than a few times for me. Hmm. Morgan, I don't think there is. I think those fish are really weird anyway, and I think you just gotta. I think you're catching a fish that you're not supposed to catch anyway, so you just need to like roll with it. You know what I mean? That's one of those like super specific bites that is just odd. Yeah, could you throw a jerk bait? Have you tried a jerk bait? It must be how they're positioned is the reason why they don't. I don't know though. That's odd. I've never see the the difference is I've been on that same bite, but I've never tried to catch them on anything else. Right? Like they started biting me swimming a tube in, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just swim a tube in. Um, I didn't try and expand on other ways to get them to bite. I typically don't. Um, oh, from wood. Hmm. It's even more interesting. I think that's like I think it's like a lost art. Swimming baits that aren't supposed to be swam. Doesn't get much credit, but it sure catches the hell out of bass. Big game is the ultimate cranking line. You're correct, Hella. All right, 3 down. 6 to go. Dude, look at my leg. Yummy. What a blast. What a fun day. Now, I got to go buy more primer because I used the last of my primer priming these damn things. What a loser. We would like to see them underwater. Like, is that fish in the middle of the column and reacting when the bait burns by, or are they nose down on it on the bottom and don't react until it swims? It's a good question, Morgan. Probably both. I would say I mean, it depends on the clarity too. Like if a fish is in the middle of a tree and a bait drops down there, I don't think it's going to be like looking at it in the bottom. But if it's clear enough, I could see him being in the middle of the tree and see the bait fall. And then when it swims up to him, being opportunistic and saying, "Ooh, that son of a bitch just swam in my, he swam on my dinner plate. I better eat his ass. He's an idiot." I don't know. I guess Live Scope would tell you that maybe. I got these fall allergies. They are not fun. Casey, I haven't fished. Like, I feel like back in the day, I could literally just fish shade and catch the shit out of them. And I don't know when I have caught fish just on shade in a long time. Like, that used to be something I did, like, at the hottest time of the year, like August. I don't know if it's like boat pressure that changed that bite. Morgan, I sneeze like 17 times a day, dude. I don't know what's going on. Um, AJ says at the regionals this year, I caught my fish the first day fishing the shade. My boater blanked. AJ, you didn't throw the dude a bone and say, "Hey, bro, these fish are on the shade." Marty, this is embarrassing. I'm a little league painter dude because I painted these baits yesterday, and the humidity killed me. So now I'm having to sand it all off. Claritin, I used to live off Claritin. I haven't taken it in a while. I just deal with it now. Yeah, Burnsy, the humidity got me. When I pulled my scales off, all the scales like pulled up and made like a really rough textured spot. And there was no like it screwed up the uniformity of my scale pattern, which I didn't like. So I'm sanding that shit off. Hey Burns, did the top waters ever show back up at your house? Return to sender? Yeah, similar kind of thing, Marty. Similar kind of thing. I did. We were fishing a bank following 6 other boats. I wasn't going to flip at the same log 11 other guys tried to flip into. Do you think people are making it more difficult on themselves not fishing simple? Yes. Because if people want to catch fish, throw a fucking 7-inch ribbon tail worm. Like if you're trying to eat, like no more grocery stores, all that kind of stuff, and you want to catch dinner, I'll probably be throwing a damn worm. But when's the last time somebody threw a 7-inch culprit ribbon tail worm with a little old 1/4 ounce lead bullet sinker? Maybe an 1/8. I was always a 5/16 guy. The culprit worm is hands down a fish catcher, 100%. Nobody throws that shit anymore. Is it because it doesn't catch bass? No, that is actually what it excels at. That is actually what it's best at. And a fish probably hadn't seen a damn ribbon tail worm in so long, they're probably thinking, damn, this thing looks real tasty. Motorola Bloodline. That's a throwback. You never hear about Motorola anything. Casey, I was talking to, I sent Josh a reaction, a text, and I said, will you make me a laminate with Motorola on one side and Chameleon on the other? Tell me that wouldn't be badass. Jeremy, I would have removed that comment too if I just told the world that I fish a 1/4 ounce Texas rig on a spinning rod. Flipped a Mag 2 all last week, and you probably caught their ass too. Marty, I'm still optimistic that those will show up. Uh, 1/8 ounce on a Texas rig. See, I never got into the 1/8 ounce. I didn't even throw the 1/4 ounce. So a lot of guys would like the standard with a 1/4. 1/4 is always a little light for me. But my buddy Rob, who was the Texas rig aficionado with the worm, he always threw a 1/4. I was the 5/16 guy. Fire and Ice, that's an old one. Tequila Sunrise, I have. That used to be hands down my favorite color. And I don't know if it was that great of a color or if it was just so sexy that I just threw it a ton. David Wright, yes, I do. That was old. What's his dick partner? Bubblegum trickworm has been getting bit for me this summer. That's interesting. Jeff Coble, yeah, Coble. Tim, I told you my claim to fame in that Triton Elite tournament on Kentucky Lake was that I came in like 15th place. Fishing offshore with no GPS, I will add, and a paper map. But I came in like 15th place, and I was looking down the scoreboard, And then 16th place or 17th place was Jeff Coble. And I was like, well, shit, dude, I beat Coble. I'm all right. You know, I wasn't trying to get down on myself, or I was kind of down on myself about a shitty 15th finish, and then Coble was right behind me. I was like, oh, I can live with that. Coble still ripping them. I did have one package take 5 weeks to get to the customer, so there's hope. Okay, I'm not. I'm pretty optimistic, Marty, that they might show up. They usually do. I had a box from Buka take like 3 months, and it just showed up randomly. Can you paint a crank tequila sunrise? Probably in some fashion. It probably wouldn't have the same appeal, but I went through a phase where I was doing worm colors on baits. Um, yeah, I've never liked flipping an old monster, Morgan. Yeah, it's too cumbersome. Um, the tail catches on too much shit. Um, I'll pitch one, but I don't like putting it like in a tree. Uh, Blue Fleck, another good color worm, but there's only one worm color you need. There's only one worm color that defies all, and I'll talk about it next week on the Patreon. Didn't you paint Marty's Round Bell Tequila Sunrise-ish? Probably. Probably did. Nate, I never got into all black worms. I did have some little 6-inch curly tail worms that were made by Lunker City that I got for free. And they were pretty good little worms, but dude, my hands are like prunes. Cream purple firetail. Down here, the purple whitetail was real popular. Was it what they call him, Smiley, Tim? That's one color I never could get behind. Kyle, I think so. I think I'm gonna do. That's where I've got like. That's what I'm gonna do, like giveaways and such. Tim, do you know Coble well or at all? Does he still compete around the house? Kyle? Yeah, we'll do it. It'll be a monthly thing. And that way, Rich, I'm not. I think I'm gonna paint those today since I'm dicking with these, and I'll paint these tomorrow. But like, I need kind of that outlet to do like one stuff, and like rather than give it away to like all of Instagram, to where some like random kid that's never liked a photo like or supported me in any like fashion may want something. I would rather give it to somebody that like cared. So uh, Rich, I think I'm going to do an IU for sure. Um, I don't know other. Maybe a crawl and maybe a gill, maybe one of each. Oh, I'd like to pick Coble's brain, but I don't think Coble is the type that would like his brain picked. He might be at the age now where he wouldn't care, but I don't know. Rich, the only color I'm really excited about doing is the IU. Once I laid my hands on my old trap, and then I started looking at all my other like red eyes and shit that I threw, and I realized they were all the same color, just a different variation. It's like, you fool. Why don't you paint it that color? And I could do Kyle, I've got, after I get done with this one, 5. School bus. I feel like Strike King already makes one though. Like I was trying to stay away from colors that are like Strike King's colors. They're 09 or chartreuse and black. Like when it fades out, it's kind of school busy looking. I don't know how that would look on that bait. We'll see. I might paint those and be sanding them when I get done. Uh, he's really a talker. Coble doesn't strike me as a talker. Any interviews? Because I used to really follow Jeff Coble because he was like the winningest local bass angler ever, and I was really like looking up, trying to find like any Coble info I could, and it seemed like he was always kind of like hush hush. Maybe I had him wrong. Yeah, I remember he was a like there was when he was fishing. I think that was the last year he was able to fish the Triton tournament because he was a Triton rep and he didn't get to qualify because of that. They wouldn't let him fish because he was a rep. He was repping Triton. But who's he work for now? Y'all see where Trey Swindle got DQ'd this weekend for having the wrong insurance? I did see something about that. My buddy's wife posted about it, and I forgot to go back and read the rest of it because I got sidetracked. But so do they DQ his whole season because he was obviously fishing the rest of the events with the wrong insurance? How does that work? Anybody know? Rich, is that good or is that bad? Kyle, that's a good question. That's a good question. I guess it's the same way as how do you paint baits for a living and then have to sand them all off? I guess shit happens. See, like this side's good. This side, not good. Phoenix or War Eagles? Does he work for Fritzy? I don't know what yeah, you would think when you've got that much money on the line, fishing that caliber of event, the last thing you'd have to deal with is dicked up insurance. That sucks. The good luck turned to shit when the Walkers got lost. Pretty much, Marty. I thought, oh, I'll have these baits painted on Saturday, and I can sell them on my birthday. I still might be able to, but I haven't tuned them. The Walkers never showed up. No, they have not showed up. We don't know where they are. They're floating around in postal purgatory. You had to have 300,000 of insurance. I only thought it was 100,000. Back in the day, it was always 100,000. Now it's 300. It's been 300K for more than a decade. There you go. So nothing new there. I know our local stuff was always 100,000, but nationally you need 300K. Did you send a request to USPS? I've had it magically start moving after doing that. No, AJ, we don't have a tracking number on it. We don't have anything on it. We just know that Marty sent it to me by USPS. Marty doesn't have a tracking. No. He threw the receipt away, he says. John, you would think. I don't know what the story with that is. What day did he get busted? That sucks, dude. That's so stupid, though. Here in the boat, checks on the final day takeoff. That really sucks. AJ, I believe I am, but I always delete them. Maybe I need to go back and look and see if I've got one of those from Marty. Good thinking. I'll have to look at that. Good thinking. Marty, we might have a way out. Trey Swindle, his insurance being all dicked up and getting DQ'd. Burns, AJ reminded me if I have USPS informed delivery where they send you an email when you're getting mail, that it would have processed your package to me in that email. So I might be able to find a paper trail of it and hope I didn't delete it. We'll see. 11:45. Hella, you're probably right. Once I get all this, should have probably worn a glove. Once I get all this death and destruction off my hands, I'll get my phone and see what I can find out. Hella, you going to be normally streaming live this week? On Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday morning? What you got planned? Oh, I can't touch them, but Amy made some badass hats. I'll have to show those at a later date. They'll go up when I put the baits up. Hella, how'd you do? Did you win that damn thing? Gerald Beck. I used to read about him in Bassmasters. Marty, it's not too late. Don't worry, man. This is one of my nice ones. I'm trying not to Hell, you'd have probably won if you'd have thrown a damn tequila sunrise worm and turned your electronics off and just fished like an idiot. And just lazily strolled down the bank. Tube. Little gas money. Hello, what's your tube of choice? Tayo, yes, I know Jackal very well. That Jackal? Jackal and I are friends. Jackal and I get along. How's the new truck treating you, Hella? Tayo, do you know Norman, the lure brand? Yum Vibra tubes, coffee tubes, and get big tube. Don't do well planning endless. Go around the boat for tubes. Truck was sweet. There you go. Every tube imaginable. Do they still make the coffee tubes? Is that a thing anymore? $32 boats. Does the fishing? I think it's funny these like companies. Like if you go back and you read like old advertising from Bassmasters, and like the shit they sold back in the day, and they're like, "There's never been another product like this. Fish eat this like there's no tomorrow." And then like a year later, it's gone, and then there's something else, and they're like, "This is better." It's like, no, it's not. You liar. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. The Yum Vibra tubes. Yeah, I don't think those are made. Hella. I think there's another company that makes. No, they make the Vibra Crawl. I thought somebody had those. AJ, doesn't like Barlow's or Lure Parts Online or something sell like a generic Vibra King tube? I thought somebody had that design still. Maybe not. Uh-oh. Josh. Oh. Insta's gone. Sorry, Insta. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. YouTubes. We'll see y'all later.